Qualcomm introduces their much awaited chip that could be coming to your next smartwatch. Hi, welcome to Zgadgetreview. Qualcomm announced a few years back that they were working on new chips specifically made for smartwatches that were going to be a lot better than the things that they had been churning out before that. And after many years of suffering with those subpar chips, Qualcomm finally announced that we're going to be getting the W5 Gen 1 and the W5 Plus Gen 1. These chips are supposed to be a game changer when it comes to smart watches, how smartwatches work battery wise and how they operate in general. Let's start by one of the biggest changes. One of the biggest changes is that these new chips, that Snapdragon W5 Gen 1 and the Snapdragon W5 Plus Gen 1, are going to be using 4 nanometer manufacturing technology versus the old 12 nanometer manufacturing technology. So it's going to make a huge difference on the size of the smartwatches that we're going to get. You're not going to need that much room anymore to fit the chip in the watch. Now, quick caveat, Samsung does not use Qualcomm chips. They make their own chips, their Exynos chips, which is what they use on their Galaxy line of watches. So don't expect to see a Qualcomm chip in the next Galaxy watch, which we should be hearing about sometime in August. So what else can we expect from these upcoming chips? Well, that is 50% higher battery life. That means that your watch is going to be able to be used longer before a charge. Right now, when you use a smartwatch, you usually have to charge it every night if you use it a lot, right? If you do a lot of workouts and things like that, you most likely are charging that watch at the end of the day. If you don't do much activity and you let's say do workouts every other day or once a week, the watch usually will last between 3 to 4 days, but no more than that. This means that you should be able, if it's 50% more, if you are a person who does a lot of workouts, so you should be able to get at least an extra half day of battery life, meaning no more charging the watch at the end of the day. In this infographic, you can get a reference of what new designs could look like based on the new chips. And here we have Compal and Pegatron. The new chip is going to support low power Bluetooth 5.3, low power islands, deep sleep, and hibernate low power states. What this last two means that watches are going to consume less energy. Now, these chips also are going to have a new modem, which is going to allow it to have better connectivity, and that being LTE and VoLTE. So these watches should be snappier when they're connected to a network. But that's not all. The new chip also is supposed to work much better with the sensors that are usually in a smartwatch, like heart rate monitoring, sleep tracking, motion sensing. It should give you better interactive watch faces and also an integrated image processor, which is going to support up to 2 cameras. Now, there is a reason why there is a difference in naming. The W5 Plus Gen 1 is going to be used mostly for smartwatches, by this being the more powerful of the two chips. While the W5 Gen 1 is going to be used for kids products, like kids watches that don't need as much power, and medical devices. AI-based tasks like real-time image recognition and voice assistance should be faster as well. So doing things in the watch won't take as long when you are calling out your Google Assistant, for example. The last chip that Qualcomm had was the Snapdragon Wear 4100, and this is already a 2-year-old chip, so it's about time that we're going to change. But also this new chip, it is made with new technology and specifically for wearables. It's finally time for Qualcomm to make wearables a priority, which wasn't something that they were doing before. As we can see here in this chart, we see the difference between the Snapdragon Wear 4100 and the Snapdragon W5 Plus wearable. We have low power islands. It doesn't have any on the 4100 Plus. This one's going to have audio, Wi-Fi, and GNSS, which stands for Global Navigation Satellite Systems. It's going to be 50% better than the last chip. Now, when we go to the performance, you can see that the CPU is going to increase to 250 megahertz from 50 megahertz. And the GPU goes from an Adreno 504 to an Adreno 702. It is going to support machine learning, which the last one didn't. We also get an increase in memory. And overall is going to be 2 times faster performance-wise than the last chip. When it comes to features, we get that it's going to be 2 times richer, and I already went over some of those features. When it comes to size, it's going to be 30% smaller. In this next infographic, we can see what the advantages of the change on that chip are. As I said earlier, we're going to be able to get smaller sizes for smaller wrists, thinner devices. You're going to have a single global modem SKU for 4G, and it's going to get greater flexibility for larger battery. Now, we don't have much longer to wait for these chips to come to the market, because we have the Oppo Watch 3 coming out sometime in August that is going to use the new 5W Gen 1 chip, not the 5 Plus. And then we're going to have a TechWatch coming later down the line in the year. There's actually going to use the 5W Plus Gen 1 chip. So we're going to be able to get an idea of real world use on watches coming in the next few months. Now, if you notice in the infographic, it says there that we have 25 designs in the pipeline. That means 25 different smartwatches coming out using these new chips. They didn't disclose what the companies are, but I will venture to say that Fossil is going to be one of those companies using the new chips on their upcoming smartwatches. And Google isn't going to be one of those, because rumors say that the Pixel Watch is going to be using Samsung chips. For some crazy reason, the smartwatch market on the Android side of things hasn't really been taken seriously. And, Apple has been out there just pretty much with the market to themselves. And of course, you have all these other companies like Garmin and Polar, if you can count Polar, with their smartwatch offerings that are more, I will say, sports driven than regular smartwatches are. So we've never had an actual chip that was made specifically to take advantage of the wearable market until now. And after years of companies asking for a chip that was good enough for the smartwatch platform or for wearables in general. So to me, this is going to make a huge difference in the market of wearables. This is also, I'm hoping, a new push towards wearables in the Android side of things that could possibly finally compete with the Apple Watch when it comes to battery life and features and all those other things that this chip supposedly is going to offer. What do you think about the new information that we have from Qualcomm? Are you excited about the possibility of this chip on wearables? Or are you like, I don't really care? Let me know in the comment section. That is it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. Thank you very much for watching.